Oh my goodness, I love this song. I can't turn it down. I'm just going to pause it. Hi guys, welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dory. So I'm running late because my morning fell apart. I haven't even dried my hair yet, but I was like, we're celebrating. So today we're getting together to celebrate 1 official year of my YouTube channel. And I want to talk to you guys about what has changed in our lives over the last year. What have we learned? What have we outgrown? How much have we each changed in this year? Now, I hadn't originally intended to cook anything with you guys for this, but I'm hungry. I had planned to eat before we did this, but I was running late and I'm hungry. So we're going to start with turning our song back on, and we're going to make just a super quick, we're going to make a peri-peri butter shrimp because Dory's starving. So let me grab out my shrimps and we'll make something to eat, and then I can have something to eat while we chit-chat because it's the day to celebrate. I'm so excited. Hello, Miss Crystal. So I don't think we're probably going to make a video out of this one. It's exactly the same shrimp we did yesterday, just with peri-peri seasoning instead of chipotle. So I'm not going to stress about saving us a video. Straight from a true, when I just want to own ya. Right? This is us these days. I don't know about you guys, but this is definitely me in this last year. Like, baby, I like the new you. So I want to chat about that, and I want you guys to tell me what's different about your new you. And yes, we are listening to New Kids on the Block because Dory's old like that. Oh goodness, so much fun. So we're going to start out with our couple shrimp. I'm going to add some butter and a little peri-peri seasoning. A nice good tablespoon of butter in there. And then peri-peri's super spicy. So if you don't like the spicy, this one might not be for you, but I love it spicy. And this is my quickest, easiest. It goes in the microwave, 1 minute. Done. Lunch. Well, I guess technically breakfast. Oh! Banging my leftover cauli rice. And I just have some leftover cooked cauliflower rice, so I'm just going to put it in a pretty bowl and serve it in that. Because that's the easy peasy way to go when you want just a quick, lazy snack. Leftovers are my favorite. And it's funny because this amount of leftover probably would get thrown away at most houses, but it's the perfect amount of food for me. Oh, so perfect. See, look, that's like exactly the right amount of cauliflower rice. Okay. Now, I didn't actually pick us a song list, so if you guys have any song requests, pop them in and we'll search out some songs to listen to. And then just like we did yesterday, we're going to add a sprinkle of xanthan gum to thicken the shrimp sauce when it comes out. And that's it. Lunch done. Easy peasy. Hello, Miss Stacia. We're hanging out to celebrate today, and we're just making a quick something to eat because Dory hungry. I don't know why I let it get to that point where I'm like, oh God, I want to kill people. I'm so hungry. But I seem to do that quite a bit. So just a teeny little bit, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And we just sprinkle it in there and stir it until the sauce gets nice and thick. And then we can pour it over top of our shrimp. And it looks so nice. It was the yummiest breakfast yesterday. It was so good. I had that. And then what else did I eat yesterday? The egg cup. I made a pepperoni pizza egg cup yesterday. And that's what I ate. The shrimp and the egg cup. You guys ask me quite a lot, what do I eat in a day? I don't really eat an awful lot in a day, which is why I really focus on what I'm eating and making sure that I'm getting enough fats, that I'm getting enough of my really, really good nutrient-rich vegetables and stuff like that. So this is all nice and thickened. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour the sauce on the cauli rice first and then put the shrimp on top. And then I'll grab a chair and we can sit and have a chat. Because I'm really honestly excited to talk about what has happened in this last year. Because I know it's not just me. I know that we have all seen a lot of very drastic life changes in this last year. So let's get that all poured up. And then we will have a lunch and a chat. And I'll turn it so you guys can see how pretty it looks. I really like this mermaid scallop dish. I just picked it up at Dollarama. But it makes just a plain serving more pretty and more fun. Let me turn you guys a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And then that one. So, quick, easy. It takes one minute to make it. So, let me grab a chair. And I will see if I can just put us on, I don't know, some kind of quiet playlist. And then we'll just chit-chat for a little bit. I hadn't really planned exactly what we were going to do today. Just that I really wanted to talk with you guys about how much has changed. And the differences that we've seen in a year of keto. April will be 2 full years of keto for me, but I'm curious. Some of you are right at your 6-month mark. You're at your 1 year mark, and I'm excited to hear about the changes that you've seen, because I know for me, I saw changes right away within the first 2 months. Those changes weren't weight. Don't get me wrong, those changes were not weight, but I saw a change in my sleeping pattern. I saw a change in my anxiety and my depression. I saw a change in my energy level and a lot of those things, and that didn't take 6 months, right? Yay, Vicky, more New Kids on the Block. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. I won't lie. My guy always tells me, don't play New Kids on the Block. It will hurt your viewership. And I'm like, no, they're my people. They're my people. They totally understand the New Kids on the Block. You don't know. You don't know. You're not the boss of them. And we like it. We are crazy like that. Oh, yes, the mermaid hair. Especially when it's all wet. Like, I definitely look like a mermaid when I just get out of the shower. I just didn't feel like blow drying it. My morning just kind of fell apart. And let's be honest, does that not happen at least like 3 times a week at the average household, where you're like, oh, I have all these plans and all these things, and I'm super organized, and then it falls apart. Hey, you know what I learned? To quit stressing myself out about expecting things to work out just the way that they will. I never used to schedule lives at all, because as soon as I set a time, then I'm like, oh, I'm running late. People are waiting for me, and my stress level goes through the roof, and it sucks the fun out of doing it in the first place. As soon as you put a schedule and a requirement on that, then, you know, you have to get home by a certain time. You have to have your ingredients. You have to have everything together. So I love that you guys just roll with me most of the times, and that I don't usually schedule things, because it works out so much better for my personal life to not have to schedule. And I love that you guys just roll with it. Hello, Chad, Crystal, Tamara. Crystal says, this past year, I went from miserable and married to happy and separated. It's been a great year. Congratulations, lady. Do you know, is there anything more freeing than leaving a bad marriage? Than leaving a poor relationship? Is there anything that makes you feel more free than that? We dread it too, right? I know when I split with my ex, I dread it for years, and I thought, you know, what's going to happen? I've invested so much into this relationship. Am I ready to, you know, just move on and let it go? And all the time that I spent stressing out about how horrible it was going to be, I feel like the moment it happened, this immense freedom came over me, and I just didn't feel weighed down anymore. So I say congratulations. Let me grab a napkin. Oh, that peri peri sauce is awesome. Oh, look at how smooth I am. Okay. There we go, napkin. Woohoo! I gotta go on now. You don't know. I smooth like that. Woohoo! And definitely, yes, let's play some more New Kids on the Block. I'll get them going on in the background and see what else we got. Deanna says, congratulations. Thank you. You know what? I'm really surprised because I won't lie. When I started making videos and I started my group and I started my YouTube channel, I didn't really know that I had a direction. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to hang out with you guys and have fun. That was kind of it. And along the way, we've just sort of grown and evolved together, and the content on my channel has changed a lot. Like, we have a lot more fun than we used to, and I think that is the best part. That's the best part, because you know what? At the end of the day, if I do nothing else, I just want for you guys to be able to come to me, hang out in my kitchen, ask your questions, you know, be friends and share our experience and our journey together. That's, at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal. Okay, so let's find us a New Kids on the Block playlist. I'm sure we can find a playlist. And then maybe we'll get a mix of older and newer. I like a lot of the newer New Kids on the Block, but whenever I play them, Facebook gives me trouble. Because they're like, no, you don't own the rights to New Kids on the Block. And I'm like, no, I don't, actually. No, I do not. Okay, so this one is just going to give us a random playlist. Okay, Tamara says, I am with you. It is so much better, less stressful, and amazing being free. And you know what? I don't think we even realize how much of our life is sucked into that negative feeling until we're not there anymore. I know for me, every day was just getting through to the next day. Like, can I get through today without killing anybody? Oh, Crystal says, I can't do morning appointments. As soon as I have something to do in the morning, I'll be up all night. And yes, like, as soon as you know it's in the morning, you don't like getting up early in the morning, it mucks with your routine, it sets you off, and then already the day before, your whole evening is already ruined, because now you're like, oh, I have to go to bed early, and then I have to sleep, but what happens when I don't sleep, and then you can't sleep? And then you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you think you're going to be late. I will say this time change has seriously been messing with me. Like, my eyes pop open after 6 hours of sleep, and my brain is like, hey, Tom, get up. And I'm like, no, dude, it's early. It's stupid o'clock in the morning. And my brain is all like, oh, well. Time is only a frame of mind, Dory. Time is only a frame of mind. You know, they say that about age, but they really mean it about time. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick bite while I read your next comments. Ooh, Deborah, all the way from Mayfield, Kentucky. Woo, I love it. And she says she almost missed me. See, now that's why I was running late. If I had done this at 1 p.m., like I planned, you would have missed it. Trish says, during the past year, I felt like I was just existing and surviving. And then the 1st of September, I had 2 GI bleeds, which were life-threatening, and made me decide to do something for my health. I started keto. Since then, I've felt more alive, not losing much weight, but noticed differences in how clothes feel. Mainly feel better with my attitude towards the future. Amazing. Because you know what? All day long, that matters more, Trish, than losing 5 pounds. Do you know what I mean? Anybody can lose 5 pounds. Anybody can. But to actually be able to look at your journey and say, you know what? I'm not really losing much weight, but I feel better. My clothes fit better. All of a sudden, I have a brighter outlook on life. That is worth so much more than 5 pounds on the scale. And I'll tell you guys a secret. According to the scale, I haven't lost any weight since March of last year. So that's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's 8 months. Now, I mean, granted, I may or may not have more weight to lose. I'm below what I thought my goal weight would be. So I may or may not have more weight to lose. I certainly still have parts of my body that I don't like. Just saying. And I don't know for sure that I have any more physical weight on the scale to lose. But if you guys follow me regular, also what you will know is that in the last 8 months from March 1st, when I weighed 145, I was a size 9. A size 9. Now, 8 months later, exactly the same weight, I'm a size 5. So I've lost 2 full sizes, but 0 weight, according to the scale. Search me. I feel better. I look thinner. Does it really matter what the number on the scale says? Right? Oh, Deborah, thank you for sharing. That's so nice. And Deborah is replying to, do you know how far away that is? Okay, I'm not sure. I think I need you to clarify. Oh, I'm in Brandenburg. KY? No, I have no idea where that is. Where is that, honey? Yeah, he doesn't know either. Is that Kentucky? I think KY is Kentucky. I'm in Canada.
I thought it was a lube.
It was a lube. I live in Alberta, Canada, which is straight north of Montana. If you're thinking of where that is in the States, where basically Montana all the way up. Oh, you're so welcome, Trish. I'm glad that it helps you because you know what? I struggled a lot too with the fact that I wasn't losing weight in the beginning. But I felt better. You know what? I felt like it was making a difference. I felt like I was on the right path. And for the first time in my whole life, I didn't feel like I was on a diet, right? I didn't have to deprive myself. If I want something, I can make, love you, babe, have a good night. I can make a version of it that I can have. And I think in my old dieting, my relationship with dieting, my old dating life with dieting, I think the biggest problem was deprivation that leads to binging. So I could do, really good for a couple of days, and then I would binge because I had eaten really good for a couple of days. And I never got out of that deprivation binge mode. That's all that everyday life was for me. Deanna said, I told my husband to hide the scale from me. And I'm going to do it too for a whole month. Good girl. Our scale broke down in January and I've not replaced her because let's be honest, she ain't my friend. She ain't my friend. And I don't see any point in spending money on a new one. If I get that desperate, I can make a doctor's appointment. They have a scale there. But at the end of the day, the number on the scale doesn't really matter. It doesn't. You can be 145 pounds and a size 9, or you can be 145 and a 5. It really has no bearing on the number that is on your scale. And it is so hard to just wrap your brain around that. And I know a lot of you want to weigh. You want to weigh every day. You want to weigh once a week. But the problem is just in water weight fluctuation, your weight can vary from 3 to 5 pounds in a day. And that's not even when you have your period. Throw your period in the mix and you can gain 10 pounds of water weight like that overnight. And then all of a sudden you're on the scale and you're beating yourself up. Because let's be truthful, not one of us jumps on the scale and goes, oh, my scale is up. I bet that's water weight. I bet that's water weight. You know, I didn't really get enough electrolytes the last couple days. I bet that's water weight. None of us get on the scale and giggle and think, oh, I bet that's water weight. We think, oh, what did I do? What did I eat? What happened? How did I get, what? How did I gain 3 pounds overnight? Was I eating in my sleep? Did something happen? But the truth of it is our bodies will just do that as we fluctuate. So if you're focused on the scale, you're gonna be sad like so much of the time, because the amount of victory you'll have to celebrate will be so limited in comparison to the disappointment. For me, I lost 35 pounds total, but it took me a whole year to lose 35 pounds. So in a year, my scale only moved 5 times. So once every 2 or 3 months, I would get the joy of, oh my God, how did that happen? How did I lose 5 pounds overnight? Oh my God, I'm the queen of the world. But that only happened 5 times in a whole year. So not even once every 2 months did I get to celebrate that I lost physical weight on the scale. I started celebrating things like pant size, clothing styles, things that I wanted to wear or do or try. I started celebrating things like being able to sit on the swing without the screws digging into your hips that makes you cry. That was awesome, just saying. I love the swing. Oh, goodness. Deborah says, I'm sure I don't say too much heavy cream in my coffee. And for some people, heavy cream may stall you. For some people, it won't. I'm going to say this. You know your body. You know your body better than anybody does. If you think that the amount of heavy cream is bothering you, cut it back for 1 week. Cut it out entirely for 1 week and see what happens. There are other options. You can go with dairy-free. If you don't want to do heavy cream, you can do coconut cream. You can do flavored almond milk. You can do powdered coconut milk. But if you think that it's the heavy cream, it's probably the heavy cream. And that might mean that you may have a mild dairy aversion that you're just not aware of. Usually the things that will inflame us and stall our weight loss, it's because we have a mild aversion to it and we just don't realize. In my old life, I ate so much junk that I never even realized that that junk was really affecting me, and I felt sick every day. So I couldn't differentiate between what junk I ate that made me sick and what other junk I ate that made me sick. Does that make sense? I mean, when I lived my life, my old life, a day on the go would start out with, coffee and a breakfast sandwich, because back then I worked in an office and you always had to have breakfast. So coffee and a breakfast sausage and a hash brown, and a hash brown. So that would be breakfast. And then for lunch, you would grab, a takeout burger and a fries, or just the burger, maybe a salad. Let's be honest, not usually salad. And then I would get home in the evening and I would make my dinner. And because I'd worked all day, it would be everything out of a box. Like, here's a good, perfect example of an old dinner I used to make. Take 3 boxes of macaroni and cheese, cook up some ground beef and some frozen mixed vegetables, and then you mix that all together and you add some taco seasoning. So then I would eat something like that, and then you sit down to your evening snack, and that would be chips, chocolate bar, junk food, candies, and that's how I ate every day. So at the end of that day, how would you even pick out what made you sick? And throw all the diet pops in there that I used to drink too, because you know, you would have your 2 or 3 diet pops in a day as well. So to actually pin down what was inflaming me, good luck, girl. Like, oh, we got to turn this one up. I love this one. And then I can chew. The right stuff. I love it. When my son was little, I did try to convince him to have a New Kids on the Block cover band, but he was not down. I was like, whatever. Makes me giggle. Tonight. Oh, they played this in concert when I saw them in concert. And Johnny Wahlberg touched my hand one time, just saying, be jealous. We're close like that. I'm no home wrecker, but, you know, we touched hands. I'm just put that out there. Oh my goodness. Karen says, I started keto when I moved to Cambodia, but I didn't have a scale for the first 6 months. Girl, that is a godsend. It was such a nice surprise when I finally got to weigh myself. So how much did you lose after 6 months? I'm dying to know. Like, because honestly, if we could separate from our scales for a month or two, it's such a better feeling than daily disappointment. Like, how much better is it to hop on your scale 3 or 6 months down the road and go, oh my God, look at me go, than it is to stand on that scale every single day and hate yourself. Because, you know what, I think that's the worst. I think that's the worst part about the scale. Have any of us ever blamed the scale? No, we blame ourselves. As soon as the scale says you've gained weight, then guess what that means? That means failure. Failure. And then our scale just blinks at us and it says, failure, failure, failure. And you're like, you're not even my friend. I don't even know why I listen to you, girl. You ain't my friend. Kristen Plum, I love karaoke. Oh my goodness. I actually even have a couple videos on my YouTube channel. The last time I went out to karaoke, I brought you guys with me. You got to see in the bar and singing karaoke. Some girl tried to nuzzle on my ear. That was new. Just saying. It was a very interesting evening. It was a good time. It was a fun, good time. See, over 40 pounds Karen lost. And that's just from eating keto, eating good foods. I'm curious if you tracked. I did only long enough to figure out my specific macros because of the amount I eat due to my bariatric surgery. I didn't have any choice but to track. I had to track it because I had to figure it out. When I tried to start keto on my own, and I went to the macros figuring out app, my favorite one ruled me. It said that I had to eat 1,600 calories a day. And I knew that I couldn't eat 1,600 calories a day. So I started tracking my food based on what I could eat. I kept my percentages in mind. I did not limit myself. I ate every time I wanted to eat, and I ate until I was satisfied every time. And then I tracked that food for 2 whole months. At the end of 2 months, I sat down with that information and I looked at what I do eat as opposed to what an imaginary computer that doesn't know anything about me guesses I should eat. And those apps are awesome. They are very, very helpful for the average person, but they don't take anything in addition into account. So they don't ask if you're a small eater, if you've had any surgeries, if there's anything that would limit the amount of food that you can consume. But they're an amazing tool if you are an average person with average situation. I mean, they don't take into account things like PCOS or hormonal issues or thyroid issues when they give you your projections of what you should eat. And all I can say is that I really encourage you to follow your own body and figure out what your right macros are. It's amazing to go to an app to get a guideline. And that's really all they are. They're a basic guideline that from there you get to adjust because you know your body. If you feel like you need a little bit more protein, you can add a little bit more protein. If you feel like you need a little bit more veggies, you can up your good veggie carbs. If you feel like, you know what, 70% fat isn't quite enough for me, you can adjust that. I eat 80% fat. That's based on the amount of food that I consume, and that is to keep me full, satisfied, and not crabby. The extra fat on the lower amount of food I can consume gives me a full rounded diet. But each of us is very, very different in what we can handle. Okay, let me scroll back just a minute. Oh, look at you go, girl. Karen says she's just at 9 months now and 72 pounds. Like, did you ever imagine? And I mean, I know that we always started diets with the biggest, best goals and the imagination in our mind of what it would be like when we got to goal weight. But honestly, girl, I want to know, did you ever actually imagine a time in your life where you could start something, you could do it, you could stick to it, and actually lose 72 pounds? Because I never imagined it. I never imagined the day that healthy eating could work for me, because what I knew of healthy eating my whole life wasn't healthy. I was eating high carbohydrate. I was eating low fat, no fat, zero fat, super double zero fat. That's a thing. Look it up. Super double zero fat. It's a thing. I paid extra for that. Like, I paid extra for packaging that said extra double zero fat. And guess what they put instead of the fat? Carbs. Because fat tastes good. So when they take out the yummy, good, tasty fat, then they have to add carbohydrates back to even that out. Because you're not going to buy it if it doesn't taste like yummy. So that's how they make low-fat things. And I say in quotations yummy, because they're not yummy anyways. But that's what they try to do, is add the extra carbohydrate to balance out the lack of flavor. Karen says, fortunately, there isn't much processed food in Cambodia, and I'm not shocked by that. And therefore, there's no opportunity to buy commercial food. And that makes life easier. I find that even though sometimes I'm frustrated by the limited selection of keto products where I live, sometimes it's a blessing too, right? I'm forced to make my own. I'm forced to make it fresh. I'm not able to just go to my local grocery store and buy a bunch of products that say keto, keto, keto on them that may or may not be keto. I just don't have access to them. Linda says their stats are basic, but we're not basic. And that's it, right? Like, they're really only meant to be for the average person who has absolutely no issues of any sort going on whatsoever. And I'm going to take a bite and then I'm going to explain this one to you guys, because it was kind of weird how I decided to do my own macros. And I've had varied reactions. So the first person that I explained to how I figured out my macros was Dr. Ken Berry, because we had been chatting and doing a live, and we were talking about the differences with bariatrics, and I was explaining to him how much I eat. And he's like, well, how did you, if this says this and that says that, how did you figure out? So I explained to him that I basically tracked backwards. Instead of tracking my goals, I tracked what I did eat, and then I kept in mind my percentages and then sat down and adjusted it. And Dr. Ken's answer was, oh my God, Dory, that's genius. Like, That is absolute genius. Everybody should track their macros that way. It gives you a very accurate count then of what you actually want to eat, as opposed to trying to hit a goal. Like, say for example, your macros goal is 1600 calories and you never eat 1600 calories, but you're stressing out trying to hit those goals. When I started in the groups, they said to me, oh no, if you don't eat all of those, it's like dinging. If you don't hit that target, bing, 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 every day, you're not going to lose weight. And that just, it didn't make sense to me. It just didn't sit well with me when they said, you can't lose weight if you don't eat that much food. It didn't make sense. So I set about to figure it out on my own. But not everybody's reaction to that has been positive. I once had a conversation with a keto Nazi where I explained to him how I figured out my own macros, and he immediately went to his private group and went on a big fat rant about how some people just do it their own way and some people don't have the science behind it to figure it out all by themselves, and some people are dangerous, and some people should just leave it to the doctors who know everything. And I was like, dude, some people know what they're doing. Like, some people know. Karen said, I gave up on being able to lose any significant amount of weight years ago. And girl, that's me. Like, by the time I was in my early 20s, I was like, that's it. I'm just fat. Like, some people are fat and some people aren't, and I am fat. I'm a fat people. That's it. I never thought I would be healthy or thin. Even when I had my weight loss surgery, my goal weight was 175 pounds, a size 14. I never dreamed being below a plus size. Even when I had weight loss surgery, my ultimate dream was just to be an average fat girl. Like, I just wanted to be average fat. Could I just be average fat instead of morbidly obese? I was totally fine with being like average fat. Extra large, very small 1X, I was okay with that. I never imagined a time when more than that would be within my reach. I just never did. Hello, Miss Cindy. Denise says she can't imagine being smaller than a 14 either. And I'm going to tell you, I think 14 was my magic number in my head. Because when I was a size 26, in my head, girl, I was a sexy 14. You don't know, I'm like sexy fat. I am sexy fat. You don't know, I'm like the white Queen Latifah. And in my head, I imagined myself being a size 14 or a 16 and all smooth and rocking it until I walked past a reflective surface and realized that is not what I looked like. Like, now, when I walk by a reflective surface, I'm like, that's not what I look like. But in a good way. Like, in a good way. I remember the days of shock when I would walk past a store and think, that fat girl's wearing my outfit. And then I would realize I was looking at my reflection and I was the fat girl wearing my outfit. And then I was double offended because somebody was copying me. Copycat! How dare you wear my whole outfit in public? Other imaginary fat girl. Just saying. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna sign out. It's almost 3 o'clock. It's time for me to go pick up my brother. But I think let's get together later this evening. My guy is working nights again. And I don't know, maybe let's make a dessert of some sort or something fun, or, you know, we could just talk about the last time we had fun. You know, that's all good too. Remember the last time when we had so much fun? Oh my goodness. And I think when we get together later this evening, I think we'll watch a few vintage Dory videos together and giggle. Like, We're going to giggle over how I mispronounce things, because that's fun. I called Guy G for like ever. Trisha says we could always sing again. I'm down, girl. I am down. I am down. We'll pick some of our favorite karaoke songs, and why not? What better way to celebrate than to bother other people with our karaoke? Like, is there truly anything better than bothering other people with our karaoke? I think the fact that they don't enjoy it makes me enjoy it more. Christina, you said my name right. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Like, I butcher everybody's name. Madja. Just saying. When you call semi-famous people by the wrong name, they don't want to be your friend. I'm just gonna put it out there and say that. They don't want to be your friend. Which I think is unreasonable. I think if somebody, called me by the wrong name and then, got caught doing it on live and was equally, very embarrassed for it, I think I'd be like, clearly you're supposed to be my new best friend. Look how not smooth you are. We're supposed to be friends. I think that's my ultimate cool. My ultimate clue is when someone is like as smooth as I am. I'm like, oh my god, lovesies forever. Like bonzies, samesies. Man, if being as smooth was an art, Dory, no. But you know what? I say this. I might be a hot mess. I just might be a hot mess. But you know what? I make a hot mess fun and colorful and delicious. Ain't nobody ever been such a hot mess and come out so yummy. I'm just gonna put that out there. Oh yes, let's do more New Kids on the Block tonight. Awkward is the new cool. I love it, Linda. I love it. Crystal told me the other night, I am hip, and my son is just not hip enough to know the kids still say hip. If he was really cool, he'd know that. And I'm just saying, I could not agree with that more. Okay, so let's turn up our music. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite video because all the little girls are crying. Like in the video that, oh my god, Johnny looked at me. And I totally feel like that, I can't lie. Oh my goodness. Hanging tough. Oh my goodness, I swear, if I could like make my child sing New Kids on the Block for us, I'll do it. I think he's gonna say no, but let's ask him. Let's wait until he's on camera and feels obligated. That sounds like a great idea. I'll see you guys this evening, and let's hang out and have some fun, my darlings. I will miss you already.